The New South Wales government has announced $50 million in funding to tackle this ongoing problem. Is that a lifeline?
Yes, good afternoon, Danica. And look, we are very grateful that the New South Wales government has finally acknowledged that this is a plague and that it does need a statewide response. It's right from the Murray River to the border rivers in the north. There's mice, and they're in plague proportions in many parts of it. So we are thankful that they've finally acknowledged that, and they've put in place certain responses that we're still talking to them about.
And how far will this funding go?
Oh, look, it's a chronic problem, acute in some areas. We first started seeing mice on our farm here nearly 12 months ago when we were sowing canola, and we've gradually increased our baiting. We've baited the whole farm 5 times, mostly by air, but occasionally by ground, as well as countless perimeter applications. And we're still, got a major infestation all around the area. The meeting at our local hall the other night was extraordinarily large. So, we've got a long way to go. The government's put in place certain arrangements for domestic, for retail premises, and a proposal for how they'll deal with treating farmers' own grain. But not every farmer, be they graziers or horticulturalists, have access to tons and tons of grain for treatment. So there's a number of anomalies that need to be dealt with.
You've done 5 baiting runs. How expensive is it?
Oh, look, my wife and I spent about probably around $80,000 so far. We've probably lost, right at the moment, I've come in here to talk to you when we're still trying to harvest mung beans, our summer crop. It's a race against the mice. That cost us easily $100,000, probably more like $250,000 so far. And if we don't keep at it, they will harvest the crop before we get there. You only got to leave your jumper on the floor overnight, like this one, and you can see what happens to your jumper.
Wow. No, that's an extraordinary cost. What sort of a toll does it take on a farmer?
Oh, look, across the state, we've all been in drought. Obviously, it was a statewide, once in a lifetime, once in a century type drought. That was debilitating. Many people have been through fire since. We've all been through the stresses around this COVID situation. Some have been through flooding recently. Mice are just amazing the way they can climb posts and stalks and climb anywhere and survive these sorts of events and get underground, obviously, for fires. So we've got this plague. It's with us right now, and we need to respond to it right now.
Are you worried, Xavier, about the potential spread? There had been suggestions that it's moving at a rate that it could end up close or if not in Sydney. Do you share that concern?
Look, it's always hard to predict. It depends on food sources. We've put out in those applications 2 billion on individual baits, and they all get eaten. There's just so many out there. It's extraordinary. So it depends where you get this explosion response to food source. And untreated, it's like any vermin or feral animal. We've all got money in our budgets to control wild pigs and foxes and wild dogs and that, but this is just an extraordinary event. And, that's why it's really important that the government responds to it as a disaster.
The pictures even that we're seeing on our screen now, Xavier, they make your skin crawl, and hearing stories of people waking up and the mice are in their bed. What's the solution here? The solution is a good targeted response. It is going to have to be more, larger areas of the landscape, valley-wide treatments, I think, or regional-wide treatments. Otherwise, it's like trying to treat COVID on a cruise ship. You've got some rooms that are clean and some rooms that are contaminated. And it's the same with mice. You might bait them out of one paddock, but they're just waiting right next door in the grass in the other paddock, and they just rush straight through the fence in the night. They're in there in minutes. Yeah, it's a difficult situation out there. Xavier Martin, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Danica.